the edge. Massive damage boosts for that pick. He's up against Yuki in the mid lane on the Azir. It's the old classic matchup of Corki Azir. But across the rest of the map, we're having a lot of rematches from the series.
And another thing I like is game one we talked about a big problem was EDG didn't really have any reliable engage options other than Mako. This time with them bringing in the Jarvan, they obviously have more ways to do that. So this game should be different than game one.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. EDG certainly going to be hoping so. And once again in this series, for the third time now, we're going to see LGD on the blue side, EDG on the red side. Both teams very happy with this setup. This is the way that they want to play. And once again, a lot of the onus going to be on the junglers in this one. It's Peanut up against Junja. And so far, it's felt like Junja has kind of been able to answer the pressure from Peanut, which there's not that many junglers in the league that can match up.
He's been done a pretty good job at reading where Peanut wants to go, like in the last game where he did hover around for that bot dive and was there and pretty much counteracted that perfectly. Turning our attention towards...
Hang on, look at the Colonel. He's got his hand on his chin right now. He's perplexed. Look, late game, it's 50-50. If we can get to 39 minutes, complete 50-50 between the squads. I've not seen that before. I've never seen him looking perplexed like that before.
Yeah.
He always knows. He's meant to know.
But looking at the runes here, this time Fun going towards the Grasp, pretty interesting. But Yuki going towards the Hail of Blades, signaling a lot more. You want to go for these short burst trades. Also a lot more about kind of teaming up with your jungler. When you go for something like Common, it's about the poke. You're not going to poke out the Corki. Ooh.
Instant flash coming out from Yuki, but he's slowed by the red buff. Junja will be able to just finish this kill off if it keeps on going. He's level 2. Yuki's level 1. Just a solo kill for Junja. And now he's found Peanut as well. He's like, oh, a bonus kill. Buy one, get one free. Peanut can just deter him in the end. Hook in the bottom lane as well. Killua trading away. Level 2 found for EDG, and they punish.
Just really big mistake coming out from Yuki. Didn't really push out the wave, just shoved in one. Went to get a pretty deep ward in that pixel brush. Junja coming out with a really good route of going for red and then just kind of walking straight down. This time looking for pressure on that bot side. Gets lucky, finds Yuki there. Yuki has to burn flash, but still ends up going down. This is massive for LGD, and we just saw the mid lane. It's really hard for Yuki to walk up safely and contest this wave now.
Yeah, there's such a massive wave built up, pushing alongside Scout. Scout will be able to poke him underneath the tower while Yuki tries to make things happen. Looks like we do have a pause coming on through, so we'll see what the issue is going to be there. But so far, so good from the side of EDG. Great pickup there, and Junja, he's just going to be thanking his lucky stars, because he definitely wasn't planning on Yuki being in the river when he turned up, but he's going to be happy that he did.
He got pretty lucky, but Yuki also maybe should be looking to push out another 1 or 2 waves, call Peanut over, but kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, more than a little unfortunate.
I was going to say, there isn't really any other good way to explain that.
Yeah, but hey, Junja, very happy with that one. Gets himself a very early kill on the Jarvan as well. Will get himself a little bit closer to that jungle item. But I like the pathing from Junja regardless, because he's matching Peanut. Peanut, every single game, has been moving straight down towards that bottom side early on to try and make a play either onto the bot lane or onto the blue buff of EDG. This time, Junja being proactive, being there first.
Also, just kind of happenstance that he's on the Jarvan this time as compared to the Rek'Sai or the Gragas, which can go for that full clear of topside jungle down. But again, changing your jungle pick is an adaptation, moving towards that bot side, thinking, Hope did really well last game. Let's put some resources into Hope's side of the map. And it worked out. Yeah,
let's set up this Kai'Sa. It doesn't even need to look towards the Kai'Sa as he gets the first kill for himself. We'll hopefully be able to get things back rolling once again for you guys shortly. I'm not 100% sure what the pause is for at this point, but I do just want to revisit some of the stuff that we brought up right at the very start, because this series, I don't know how to word this in a political way, but basically this series is a lot more important for EDG than it is for LGD. LGD, they're not looking good in the standings right now. They're in 15th place. The odds of them making it to playoffs at this stage are very, very low. But for EDG, they're very close players. They're in 9th. They need every single win that they can get. And this felt like it should have been a relatively easy win for them. But so far, it's been looking difficult.
Just kind of looking at that replay on the
Yeah.
map once again, but like you're saying, at least for LGD, it's at the point where if you want to make some kind of surprise playoff run, you need to start getting wins now. But like you were saying for the side of EDG, where you're sitting at 4-4, you're at about 9th in the standings right now. Securing these wins against the teams under you is so important.
Scout going to take a little bit of poke there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. EDG going to need this one for the books. Junjia going to have complete control of this bottom side of the map. Not surprising off of the early plays that he was able to make. He's not head back to base just yet. He's going to get this first Scuttle crap on the bottom side first. Will be spotted out from the wood, but has his sweeper, so we'll clear away that vision. Not going to move over to try so it doesn't spot the second ward.
With Junjia playing towards the bot side, we do see up in the top lane, it is a lot better time for FunFun this game around as compared to the first two. His even in farm right now is a bit overextended, but has the vision to be playing like this, so everything's fine.
FunFun, once again, he's going to struggle in the trades up against the likes of a Set. Set will do very well, but FunFun is actually a level up right now. And when you can compare it to game number 1 and 2, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe FunFun does well in these trades, because that one looked pretty good. The Brittle doing so much work, and maybe an adaptation of that Grasp coming through as well.
We did talk about that Grasp is a lot more of a lane-dominant rune. Audi's still going to be able to catch the wave from under his turret right now. Really hard to say what happened without having seen the earlier wave state, but Junja's heading up topside once again.
FunFun going to check on into him. Gets spotted out, slowed down. Flash still available for FunFun if he does want to go for that. Knock up onto the likes of Junjia, but Scout moving over as well. FunFun, he's got to flash this one. Gets away from the knock-up. Scout actually going to be the answer. Yuki goes very deep. Peanut following. Scout walked away, though, with his life. Audi still behind the play. They will all get away from that one. Scout and FunFun so close to going down.
Yeah, just Junja trying to get that pick off onto FunFun. But of course, Yuki was pushing in that lane, is able to move first. Audi so far behind since he was under his turret. Both coming out okay. Scout having to blow that TP, but does still end up catching the wave. And it looks like the wave is in a pretty good position for Audi.
Yeah, Audi should be able to just continue to farm up. And you'd expect that CS lead to slowly but surely start to go the way of the Set. Will still have his teleport available, and you can see FunFun decided to play this one slow. He's not going to teleport back to lane. He's going to walk the whole way.
He's just been a lot more of a team player this series. It is also kind of good to note that Audi wasn't able to just shove in the wave from where it was, so FunFun being able to walk up, still catch most of that CS, and save this TP for something like a dragon fight is really important.
Nice little rotation from Scout there. Peanut spots the ward in Pixel Brush, but because of Scout's presence, we'll have to back away and look towards his Krugs. He's just going to wait there. We've all been there when you're waiting for the camp to spawn. I think he expected them to be there a little sooner.
Yeah.
He gave up as they spawned. No!
Oh, he
tunneled
did.
away from the Krugs literally as they spawned. That's heartbreaking. Poor Peanut.
I don't know. Is that poor Peanut?
There was a question mark ping. I think that was from a teammate. Maybe not. I don't know. I think it's poor Peanut.
This game being a lot slower than previous games. Game 1, we saw when Junja was on the rec side having a lot easier time of trying to set up those advantages in the top lane. Of course, LGD now, the Azir, the Varus just willing to scale up themselves. So we're really not going to see much until one team starts looking for something like the rotation to Herald. It is a play that LGD can look for since they've pressured the bot lane, push out that lane, have their bot lane recall, and look for this fight on top side now that you do have a lot of these team fight ultimates up. Though Kramer hasn't hit level 6 yet himself, and that's probably what LGD are waiting on.
We are rapidly heading towards that 8-minute mark. That's when the Herald will spawn on the map.
There we go.
As you mention it, crash the wave, get the recall off. And I like that from Kramer. Moving further away. Not going to be greedy with the recall. Can't be punished now by Mako.
It does look like Killua is going to head up towards topside, so they can be posturing for that. Yep, he's waiting, setting up that lantern for Kramer, and they're going to head up there together.
Nice trades coming out up in the top side from FunFun. Just being able to trade evenly with this Set, meaning that the lane is way more even this time around. Peanut going to start the objective as you mentioned, Killua moving up towards the top side. Kramer coming with him as well, the full commitment to this play.
Yeah, EDG aren't going to be able to contest. We do see their bot lane is just so behind. They aren't going to be able to get there anywhere near in time. They're going to get the reset, and I would expect them to move over to the Drake and start that up, since now LGD should be expected to reset. But, ooh, no, they're going to match.
Oh, yeah. LGD not looking like they want to reset just yet. Peanut going to find Junjia. And we'll just be quite happy to go for a 1v1 here, because Yuki's on the side. Killua wants a death sentence. He's going to pressure them away. Just 2 plates remaining, and with a Herald, this could be taken on down. Peanut going to drop it.
Yeah, they're going to get it.
And this, uncharacteristic from EDG. We're used to them trading objectives, not trying to contest like this.
It's uncharacteristic in a sense. We usually don't see this happen in the early game, but this is typical EDG once like 20, 25 minutes happens, where we even saw it with the Baron. They're just usually too slow on the rotation, too slow to realize, oh, wait, this team can do this. And that's what we saw this time around. So LGD just coming out with a massive tempo play, getting Herald, getting first turret.
Would have been nice to see EDG trade a Dragon for that. You feel like they realistically should have been able to find a counter objective, not even going for a single plate in the bottom lane. So ultimately, what happens is LGD get themselves 5 plates across the team. They get themselves a 1,000 gold advantage.
And they get tempo on bot side of the map first, since we do still see Hope on top side. And LGD can look to start Dragon right now, and they do.
LGD, they're just rewarded with the entire map for themselves. And speaking of that, Audi forced to flash. Chains of Corruption from Kramer. Peanut happy to just solo the Dragon out. LGD, they can't believe their eyes.
EDG aren't contesting anything. They're not looking for anything on the map. We could have seen Junjia once again try to work his way up towards that top side when you do have the set matchup like we've seen 3 games in a row. We could have seen them try to impact the bot side where, okay, you have the losing lane matchup, but in the 3v3 you're still very strong with the Nautilus.
Junjia wants to move up, wants to make a play. Call of the Forge God to try and deter this. Mako knocked up, Brittle propped. Death Charge though onto him, flashes away, but Junjia's there with a Cataclysm. Empress Divide actually saves Junjia's life, and Yuki just has to walk away from this one. In the meantime though, Kramer and Killua still pushing away.
Junjia pretty much jumping half a screen away to pick up that kill on top of FunFun, but still, we saw how much damage can come out from this Kaisa, even in the early game, just from the Hail of Blades with the Plasma, true damage onto FunFun.
Yeah, tons of damage available from the side of Hope. Junjia waiting in the wings, but Peanut's found him, and he'll push him away out of the jungle. Ousts him from his own side. Peanut will be here just to catch the wave, because obviously FunFun had to go back to base. In fact, he was forced back to base by the side of EDG.
Still, though, for LGD, they still did get plate gold onto Kramer. And remember, last year, Kramer was the big hyper carry of this team, was putting up insane performances. We know those are still in him, so getting gold onto this AD carry can be really massive. It looks like they're going to look for a cheeky play onto Audi with both Yuki and Killua heading over.
Kramer's here. Chains of Corruption is about to come back off cooldown. Flash will not. There's a play. Death Sentence will be available. Audi knows he's gone, and a piercing arrow to finish the kill. But now we have an answer. EDG move on forward. Bellows Breath to stop some of the CC, but there is so much CC. How can you stop it all?
Oh, just FunFun overstepping. We didn't see Scout in the mid lane. Didn't see anyone else from the side of EDG on the map other than Audi. Your team was making a play on the bot side. Just give up a bit of that CS, which you've been doing 2 games in a row now. Yeah. I don't think it matters to you that much. You're in a much better position this game than you were in game 1 and 2.
He was so pleased with his position. He was like, damn it, I managed to stay even in CS this time. I can't give it up now. He gives up his life instead. So he will give up the CS advantage in the end. Or disadvantage, I guess.
Still, both teams taking down the enemy top laner, and you would expect to see them taking down each side's turret.
I mean, ultimately, yeah, sure. EDG get the kill onto FunFun, but realistically, they're still behind on the play. Kramer's going to finish off this bottom lane tower. That's 2 now for the side of LGD. If Hope can finish this one, all they'll be doing is evening things. And then on top of it all, Yuki got 1 plate in the mid lane. Oh, no. Oh, Audi, you poor soul. He's not having a fun time. He's not allowed to play League of Legends today. This is what we call setting up a tent.
I mean, this was him really walking into it. He had just seen that LGD's bot lane had just pushed that wave.
Oh, here we go. Hope going in with the Killer Instinct. Finishes off the tower. FunFun I mean, EDG basically saying anything you can do, we can do better. If you're going to camp Audi, we're going to camp Funfun. No top laner is allowed to play today.
We're just seeing both top laners make mistakes. When you know that the teams have cut the map and they're on your side, just sit back at your inner turret, wait for that wave to come to you, or if you expect the enemy team to not have the pushing power to push down your inner turret, make your way to the opposite side of the map and look for a pick. We're at a point, especially for LGD, you have the Chains of Corruption, you have Call of the Forge God. We want to see them grouping up as a unit, kind of layering their CC and setting up these team fights and these picks onto EDG.
So we've had a bit of trading back and forth, right? We've had top laners being taken out multiple times, but ultimately, it's been gold going into the AD carries for both squads as the mid laners just continue to farm away. But now, Dragon spawning in a minute, Rift Herald in about 30 seconds, we're going to see these teams forced to either clash or trade these two objectives.
Also interesting to look at Kramer's build and see that he went for the rapid fire cannon instead of the Ginsu's. Seems like a strange choice when the Ginsu's would have given you more damage, and I feel like EDG's champions will have a fine time of getting onto you so that extra range doesn't really provide much survivability.
Maybe just not sure. I'm not going to try and justify it. I don't need to. I didn't do it. 1,000 gold, though, for Kramer from the plates. And, well, I mean, ultimately, that's all you need to say about the plates, because that is a ton of gold. That is a massive amount going his way.
I was going to say maybe we could see him, which we have seen some Varuses do. Can't remember which one, but picking up something like an IE third or fourth item.
Yeah, we could see the full damage build. Yuki, by the way, on the Azir, split pushing away on the top side, has a massive minion wave to do it with, and he's going to find himself a tier 2.
And this is what we've mentioned it so many times this series about EDG reacting so poorly to the opposite team trading on the other side of the map.
And, you know, a trade to some extent, but realistically, this is
not
all in favor
Yeah.
of LGD. Tier 2 in the top lane for a tier 1 in the bottom lane, you don't make that trade if you want to, if you have an option. At least they get a dragon. They get something for themselves. Herald in the mid lane. Yuki teleports in. Group up from LGD. It's going to be the mid going down here. Herald doesn't take damage from the charge, though. And it means that it will be able to move on towards the tier 2 as well. Great positioning here from the side of LGD. Look at the second charge off. Death Sentence goes wide. And there we go. LGD once again ahead on the play. Once again ahead in gold.
So this is what I like to see and what I want to keep seeing out of LGD. Just keep using these pressures, moving to other lanes, using your CC to look for picks. Of course, they weren't able to find any picks now, but they didn't need to. They were able to secure those objectives regardless. For EDG, you can keep playing it slow, trading objectives, letting that Kai'Sa get to a big point like she was last game.
Hope definitely going to be the win condition here for the side of EDG, especially, as you say, game number 2, he looked amazing. He looked very much like the strongest player on his team with the performance that he was able to put up. But Kramer going to be able to match him this time around with the amount of plate gold that went his way. That one extra kill, the 10 CS, it's not going to be that significant for the side of Hope. Just finishing off the Rage Blade for him. And you can see it there. Kramer going to be about 800 gold ahead of Hope right now.
And now LGD are kind of changing their lane positions. They're sending Scout down to the bot lane. Ornn gonna go pick up that wave on top side for Funfun. And just slowing down the pace of the game would be nice to see EDG abuse their TP advantage. We do see that Yuki doesn't have any TP, so again, pull the members of LGD onto opposite sides of the map and then group up first away from Yuki where he won't be able to join in the fight. So I'd like to see them set up a play in LGD's topside jungle.
Well, I'd like to see that too, Lyric, but I don't think they're gonna, because it's only Scout here for now. Funfun will walk away with his life quite happily there. In the meantime, it's LGD that is setting up plays as they set up around this bottom side of the map. It's one dragon apiece, next one not for another 3 minutes yet, but they're gonna be the ones in control of this portion of the map, and pings down towards this bottom lane tier 2. LGD are showing no signs of slowing when it comes to building up this advantage.
LGD just doing a good job knowing they've pushed in the bot lane with Yuki down there. Kramer having so much threat in the mid lane, as we've talked about with the Chains of Corruption. So being able to push EDG back and control vision around this bot side.
The red buff out here as well. One of the things about an Infernal Rift is the red buff can be pulled a little bit more aggressively. Mako pulled in. Here we go. Fight kicks off. Junjia gets onto Peanut. Lanterns keep Kramer safe from the depth charge. Junjia goes in. So does Hope. And it's 1 kill for the Jarvan. Showstopper onto the backline. Audi wants to have an impact. He doesn't care if he was camped. That's a haymaker and a half. And it's going to be going the way of EDG. Hope with a double. And he wants more as well. Fun chased out as Scout going to be the one to grab the kill for himself. Although Fun will walk away for now. Now onto the likes of some towers in the mid lane.
Ooh, but great engage coming out from EDG. We saw Audi back off and wait for that flank. The flank coming in massively, picking up so many kills on the side of EDG, and even forcing Fun to blow that TP.
Very nicely done. Fun does get away with his life at least, but costs him a big summoner spell. And Audi, after having a really rough game 3 here, just one singular fight redeems everything.
True, but Audi coming in massive with that flank, but Junja especially being very aggressive. We see Mako engaging here, Junja following in, Scout off to the side. Kind of really weird Emperor's Divide coming out, and on the side of LGD, they just aren't in a proper formation. Fun is not in front of them, taking up damage, giving room for Kramer to do anything. They're just kind of walking in one by one, letting EDG take them down.
And once again, Hope's positioning in these fights means that nobody from LGD is able to answer in any way. He can do whatever he wants. He's able to just finish these targets off. And I was saying a minute ago how Kramer was the one ahead in goal. Kramer was the one with the advantage. After the back of that fight, I would say it's Hope now that's going to be in charge.
Hope just getting massive on this Kai'Sa once again. EDG kind of going back to what we've known them for, taking these games slow, waiting for these big team fights and skirmishes to kind of have an explosive moment.
It feels like Hope has really grown as a player under Mako's guidance so far this split. Mako, obviously, the veteran of this squad, very much a voice of experience and of confidence. And Hope going to be able to learn from him in the bottom lane. And already Hope really proving himself in this split. Now with the Kai'Sa pick, we've seen a lot of players in the LPL not really able to make this Kai'Sa pick work, but Hope looks fantastic on it.
Yeah, and another thing to keep your eyes on, other than Hope, is Scout does have package in this team fight. Ooh, they're just going to use it to zone them away from the Dragon.
We'll be able to secure the Dragon because of it. We take those.
LGD just not feeling comfortable to look for the engage, despite having all their ultimates back up. So, EDG coming out ahead.
Yeah, suddenly, everything's gone quiet on the side of LGD. They were the ones forcing objectives. They were making trades across the map. They still have the tower lead by 2 towers at this point in the game. Maybe they're going to make some plays again. Killua wants to find a hook. Fun gets the knock up onto Hope. That is the perfect target. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get away from that one, my friend. Fun with 1,000 gold and a shutdown right there.
Just Hope being too far overextended. We talked about with these comps that he's no one to really peel for him like Kramer has with Killua. And Fun finding a really key ultimate onto Hope. And now they're able to most likely get this Baron, but a lot of ultimates are down. Junjia
has to try and find a steal for his team right here. Mako goes in. The rest of the squad going to follow up. A lot of damage across this team. Junjia finds one. It's answered, though, by the side of Kramer, looking for more. Pulled into the fight, though. Yuki barely survives. Scout going to be trying to clean this one up. Kramer still going, though. Life stealing off of the Scuttle Crab. It's him versus Scout. Death Sentence goes in onto Mako. Backing away from this one now. Hail of Arrows trying to slow Scout down. That's going to be a pull in from Mako. Aftershock keeps him tanky. He walks away with his life. Scout gets onto by the Varus, though, and he actually answers the kill. Very nicely weaved in the auto attack with the Phosphorus Bomb. And ultimately, EDG win the fight.
EDG coming out ahead, especially at the end of that Scout with the flash, and Kramer having no vision, so it looked like his auto attack canceled, and Scout coming out ahead.
Very nicely done from Scout. This Corki pick working out.
We see Mako engage onto the fight, and Audi jumping in with Killua, who was Stone Plate, so a ton of damage coming out from that set ultimate, and now's where the fight starts getting confusing. Scout was doing a ton of damage, and here we see both of them back up. Kramer looking to lifesteal off the Scuttle Crab. We actually don't get to see the end of it, but again, beautiful flash coming out. It was Flash or Valkyrie coming out from Scout over into a place where Kramer had no vision, and it's beautiful.
Beautifully done. And Mako surviving as well on a sliver of HP.
It is always nice to see a set get a ultimate, get a showstopper onto a target who had used Gargoyle Stoneplate.
Yeah, the damage that comes out. Have you seen the set showstoppers onto the likes of a massive Cho'Gath? It is disgusting. You one-shot people. Speaking of getting one-shot, Peanut nearly gets one-shot by Hope there. Damn, the Kathy and Rain doing a lot of damage at this point in the game.
Just Hope having a really strong one-burst combo with this new Kai'Sa build coming out from it. And the game is just going to slow back down.
Well, you say that. LGD say otherwise. They are going to be spotted out by the ward. Control ward goes down, and looks like they're still going to commit to the play. Killua waiting for a hook, waiting for an opportunity. Teleport here from Scout. Audi's already on the play. Full 5 squad from both teams. Good respect from LGD, though. I was worried they were just going to try and force that one. Well, they are going to just try and force this one. Call of the Forge God only hits Mako, though. And they're going to back away. And I think rightly so. If it only hits Mako, you probably don't want to try and force that.
Yeah, they try to look for the engage, but no one really in a position where they can follow up that Call of the Forge God. Now EDG have complete control over River, going to be able to set up vision. And they have such a fast Baron time with this double AD carry setup. I mean, I guess both teams have such a fast Baron. Azir, Varus, Corki, Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
You always got to be careful.
Yeah, you really can do a lot. Obviously, the Plasma from the Kai'Sa. On the other side, Blade of the Rune King from Varus. So you will just melt through.
And Varus did go towards that Infinity Edge that we were talking about that he could have gone towards earlier. So his auto attack's going to be extremely strong and have a lot of DPS.
There's 2 of them there. He's like, I'm going to burrow out of this situation. Just nips under the earth. No worries.
But look at Scout's build. Scout's going to be doing so much damage.
Yes. The crit Corki in the mid lane. And he's critting with magic damage as well. Obviously, Corki got changed quite a while ago now, but a lot of his damage is going to be magic from the passive. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds here. EDG not interested in the Infernal Dragon. They're interested in the Baron. Starting this one off immediately.
But Audi with the flank position.
Looking for a showstopper. Looking to make a play. In the meantime, we've got Killua pulled on in. Takes Kramer out of the fight. And the follow-up from the team is beautiful. Hope with yet another kill. And it's EDG with yet another fight. They fall 1 by 1. And it's another 2 for the Kai'Sa.
It's actually funny that Game 1 and Game 2, we see Audi finding himself, with the help of Junja, such a big advantage in his lane, but not transferring that to the rest of his teammates. This game, he fell really far behind. We've seen him make quite a few mistakes, but in these 2 clutch moments, in these 2 last skirmishes, really coming out big for EDG.
The showstopper can be an incredible ultimate, but only if you can use it correctly. And just look at this from Audi.
Does it, flashes in, gets it onto him, and everyone on the side of EDG being able to follow up.
It's the fact that Junjia and Hope both just blast across at him.
Such decisive flashes coming out from all of them.
Yeah, really nicely done. And again, Hope on the Killer Instinct. Really, really good play. We've been seeing it the entire series long. There is somewhat of an answer from LGD. At least they get the Infernal Drake, so a bit more damage to work with in these fights. But it really feels like this Kai'Sa pick, I'm finally starting to see why teams are focusing on.
Yeah, like we talked about yesterday, it's actually been struggling quite heavily in the LPL. You fall behind early and it's not able to do much in these mid-game team fights, but EDG slowing down the game, especially against a team like LGD that seems like they struggle with these mid-game transitions. This Kai'Sa pick is showing up really strong.
Well,
talking about right now what I'd want to see from EDG, I don't want to see them use all 3 lanes. When you look at LGD's comp, especially with this engage being able to come out from Ornn, it is pretty dangerous to kind of spread out your forces when you do want to just see them use 2 lanes, group up together, and kind of pressure as a unit. You do have a lot of siege pressure coming out from the Corki.
It's exactly what I was thinking as well. As we do see EDG moving down to the bottom side. Rockets from Scout doing so much.
LGD need to use this opportunity.
Yeah, knock up. It's onto Mako again, though. Not ideal. Dredge line keeps him safe. And nothing comes out from the side of LGD. Audi can split push. He's got his TP. Demolish comes through. And this is just rinse and repeat for the next minute.
Well, and what I was going to set up before it actually kind of happened was LGD need to use this opportunity while Audi's in the mid lane to look for a really decisive engage on the foreign bot lane. Throughout the Call of the Forge God, looked like everyone was really hesitant to try and follow up, but now they have to wait for that cooldown once again unless EDG overstep.
It kind of feels like they don't have that much decisive engage outside of that ultimate, though. You know, if FunFun can't find the Call of the Forge God onto multiple members, how do you really start a fight?
You either need, you know, a chains of corruption on someone overstepping from EDG, or you need some really big Shurima shuffle coming out from Yuki.
I'm ready to see it. It's your time to shine, Yuki.
That's so dangerous, though. I don't expect to see it.
It would be magnificent. Mako goes in onto the likes of FunFun. He's tanky, will survive the engage, but it opens up this inhibitor in the bottom side of the map. EDG will be rewarded with this patience that we see from them. Looking for Audi, though, challenging Smite. Peanut gets the knockup. I don't know, though. You can't really commit to a play like that. You know the rest of EDG is nearby. Piercing arrow comes through from Kramer, but shields galore. EDG back away.
It's like we talked about, they really missed their opportunity when they used that Call of the Forge God and weren't able to find an avenue into the fight. And we actually do see Audi just kind of going full-on tank set this time around. He did fall far behind, so it makes sense. You don't really have any reason to build damage. Just try and be the front line that your team needs. Find that one good showstopper that sets up Hope and Scout to deal all their damage.
6,000 gold lead for EDG. We're even on Drakes, but I don't think Drakes are really going to be the focus of this game. Baron has finished, though. That's the most important thing. So it's going to be much more difficult for the side of EDG to just siege away. But with the inhibitor down in the bottom side of the map, certainly gives them an advantage in terms of global pressure.
But just look at Hope's build. Hope is so far ahead. He's one full item ahead of Kramer at this point. I really don't know what LGD can do to find a way back into this game. We talked about that. What LGD would have wanted to do is kind of group up together, use one of these big CC ultimates to try to catch out EDG and then get on top of them first. They haven't been able to do that. They've always kind of thrown out Call of the Forge God. I don't even know how to describe it. It's always been like too far. Just, hey, you're way over there, I'm way over here. Throw out Call of the Forge God.
Looking for the snipe.
Yeah, maybe hit someone like Mako, and then you're like, well, that happens.
They're looking for the miracle play. They're looking for just the beautiful highlight moment from FunFun, but it's not been coming through in Game 3. And ultimately, again, when you look at the standings before this game, you expect EDG to be the favorite. You expect them to be the ones winning out the series. But we saw something beautiful from LGD in game number 1. We saw something that none of us were really expecting. A 25-minute win.
To be fair, that was a 25-minute win off the back of EDG's mistakes.
Yes.
But game 2 actually looked a lot better from them. But we keep seeing once it hits around the 10-15 minute mark, once those outer turrets are broken down, LGD don't know what to do. And this probably goes back to the fact that, you know, PYL is not on this roster anymore. He was on this team. He was the captain. He was the leader for 7 years. And they've had to try and find a new shot caller. Doesn't seem like they found that. Killua, a lot of his experience was on Rogue Warriors. And people know, especially that old Rogue Warriors team with Duinbi with SMLZ was apparently led and shot called by Duinbi. So Killua is not the man you bring in to try and find the shot calling and leadership. It does look like they found some more stability in the early game to kind of build off of what Peanut has. Yeah. But when it gets to this 15-20 minute mark, they just don't really know what to do outside of these cheesy kind of like creative plays.
And you have to bring up the question of maybe that's what this substitution in the top lane was about. Maybe FunFun has a little bit more of that shot calling in his repertoire and perhaps just needed a bit of a stronger voice in the roster. So far, though, it's not been quite enough for LGD. It does feel like this is a slow inevitability coming out from EDG as they're going to start up the Baron once again. And LGD, if they don't answer this, they're going to be in big trouble.
Looks like they're not even going to be able to get into the river with EDG doing such a good job of controlling vision.
Look at where Audi stood on the minimap right now. He's just waiting for LGD to contest this one. He would love to get a fight. Peanut getting absolutely smacked by Scout there. Kicked out of his own mid lane. And now with Baron, EDG begin the siege. They're going to look to try and close things out.
We already talked about the LGD's composition at this point against EDG in their gold lead. Feels like they have very few windows into this game. They don't really have any options. It's about if EDG kind of split up and then you trying to find that numbers advantage fight and burst someone down very quickly, what would hopefully be hope.
Yeah. And I hate to say that a game's over before it is. You know, I hate to try and call things too early. But when you look at the scoreboard and you look at the positions on the map right now, it's really looking good.
Look at
EDG.
where Peanut is.
Peanut, are you okay, buddy? We do have Valkyrie available for Scout, so he's looking for a flank on the mid lane. They're going to try and make this play. Scout Valks out. Did get the QSS off Fen following. I don't know about that one. He will be finished off by Hope. It's top laner for top laner, though. Audi keeps the rest of LGD at bay. The Azir turret comes through, and it stops them sieging onto the mid lane. And do you know what? It's not perfect, but it stops them for a little bit. Or does it? That's going to be a pick onto the likes of Peanut. And now, Junjia forced away. Empress Divide is actually going to be huge. LGD turning this one around. Exhaust onto Hope. He's 1v4, but here comes Scout back into the play. It's a double for him. Answered by Kramer. Hope finishes the fight, and it's an ace with just one man remaining.
What even happened at that fight? We talked about how LGD need to be the ones to find a numbers advantage.
You could hear Hope sparkling even after the fight.
Yeah, this ended out of nowhere, but Fun is coming back up right now, but I would expect Hope is still able to close this one out.
Yeah, he has plenty of attack speed. You can hear him sparkling away as he knows he's the golden boy in this series. He knows he's looking at another MVP, and he knows he's looking at a win on the board for EDG.